Hey there, everyone. Welcome into the Ben Maynard program. Thanks for being here. Got a full house tonight. So some housekeeping to take care of before we get started. As a reminder, this program is available on multiple podcast outlets like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. Or just simply search the Ben Maynard program. You'll have several options to choose from. Pick your option and go with it. As you know, I want to steer everybody towards Buzzsprout because that's where my website is. Next, if you just have to have this right here and you can't get away from it and you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. I love comments. I will reply to your comments. And as I've said before, if you leave a comment, I'm going to read it on the next show. Last but not least, follow me on Instagram, Ben Maynard Program. So there are plenty of ways to take in this show for your dancing and listening pleasure. And with that, with this gang here, no recap. No recap on the last episode. We're going to get right into this thing here. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of stuff sitting on the table in front. And what I'm going to do before we get rolling, this is another tasting. This is an IPA tasting. And as you know out there, I'm not a big drinker. So I'm not a beer drinker. And I don't consider Imperial Stouts beers. Sorry, it's just the way it is. That's how I cheat my way into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm along for the ride here. And I'm going to be turning a lot of this stuff over to the experts who are going to introduce themselves in just a moment. And then we're going to get started. Does that sound good for everyone out there? Does that sound good for you guys here?
Sounds great.
Okay.
And we have a studio audience. Thank you.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. And yes, we've got an in-studio audience once again. All right. So there's the peanut gallery over that direction. So to my left and your right.
Chris Anderson.
All right, Chris.
Mark Roth.
All right, Mark.
Darren Treinpel.
Everybody remembers Darren.
Catherine Maynard.
Nobody knows her. She's a newbie. Yes, that's my lovely wife, of course. You all know that.
Oh.
No, I can't. Jeez. All right. So, look, as I said, IPAs, and I'm going to leave it at that. So what I'm going to do, because the experts at this table are Darren and Mark and Chris. All right. No, you're just an expert drinker. You're a professional drinker. Not an expert on the IPAs. Okay. So whoever wants to take it first, kind of explain what an IPA is for the audience out there and the uneducated as myself. And then, we'll get the ball rolling.
Well, in very, very general terms, okay, there's a couple of different kinds of IPA. There's a hazy East Coast IPA. There's a West Coast IPA, and there's an American IPA. We've got American and we've got East Coast here.
Okay.
That we're going to be tasting tonight. The East Coast is it generally looks like orange juice.
Okay.
You might even see particulates floating in it. Same with the American, where the West Coast, like a Pliny, is just more clear, more
like a traditional lager.
Yeah, it's like a lager. It looks like a lager. Okay, versus what we're going to see tonight and taste tonight.
Okay, you can do that. Mark, you are going to have to speak up a little bit. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So continue, Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Darren went back to the East Coast and we were all fortunate enough that he brought back with John a bunch of these beers that are very difficult to get. They do not ship these beers. These beers are not in any craft liquor store here outside of maybe some of the Trillium, which I think is the second and fifth or sixth one we're going to be trying.
Okay.
Treehouse, definitely. The only place you can get Treehouse, even out on the East Coast in Massachusetts and several other locations, is at their facility, period.
Okay.
So
All
They're
right.
very difficult to get, so this is a treat that Darren has brought for us.
Well, thank you very much, Darren. We appreciate that. But it sounds like to me, Chris, the bottom line in all this is road trip.
Yes,
Yes.
it is worth it. Yeah, we've been going out there for the last probably 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
And so we've got a good path. If anybody wants to hear what that path is, message you. I'd be happy to give you what we do. We do basically a 5-state path. We hit probably 15 breweries, and it's a fantastic road trip.
Wow. Okay.
I hit 2 breweries on that. I was the man.
You hit 2 breweries and then you hit the floor. All right. Sounds good. So, are we just going to start digging in?
Yeah, so I think the first beer that Darren
Big
has
yellow
got
one.
up there is Julius from Treehouse. It's that yellow can right there.
Okay.
And I got some descriptions here that. So this is they're calling it American IPA, which is kind of surprising to me that the Treehouse is calling it that. But you'll see when you pour it. It's a 6.8 ABV,
Okay.
and in terms of the bitterness, the IBUs is what they calculate the bitterness of a beer. It's a 72 IBU on a scale of 100.
Okay.
Now,
So is the higher the number, the more bitter?
yes.
Okay.
And it's a loose scale because there's actually beers that'll be over 100.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It does look like
So for
orange juice. Look
those
at that.
of you watching this at home or at work, we are going from my right, which would be your left, just as we read from left to right. Okay? Just so you know.
And so we got a little bit of a description here we can read
Okay.
of it, if
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
So their description, this is from Treehouse. So bursting with pungent American hops, Julius is our flagship American IPA. Okay, it's a bright, juicy beer filled with flavors and aromas of mango, peach, passion fruit, and a melange of citrus juice. So it'll be interesting to see if we pick those up or pick up something different. But that's
Right.
what the brewers is telling us that we should be looking for.
That's always the fun part about tasting anything is when you read someone else's description or somebody tells
Absolutely.
you about it, and then you go ahead and taste it, and you want to see, am I picking up the same thing?
Absolutely.
Am I tasting the same thing? Am I smelling the same notes? All that kind of stuff.
No, and what we find, I mean, it's probably the same thing with people who drink a lot of wine, is that everybody's got different taste buds and
Right.
factories, and everybody kind of pulls different things.
Yeah.
Or
Same
especially
thing
if you
with
ate
beer.
something
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So just for those of you watching or listening in your car,
it's really good.
we have not influenced our taste buds at all.
And I could smell the mango.
Yeah.
So then if somebody here falls out, we're just gonna keep rolling, okay? It does look like orange juice.
Yeah.
It does. It really
Mhm.
does. Or even like a mango juice or something.
So
like
this
that.
wouldn't be considered hazy?
No, this is
It is
Oh, it is
hazy.
hazy. Okay.
They just label it as an
Hazy.
American IPA.
Okay.
Yeah, American IPA.
Okay.
We would definitely call
Which
that
is-
hazy.
I don't know if that's really a classification out here on the West Coast, because we just say either they're hazy or they're a West Coast. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, we're-
So
we're- we're-
if
we're
the
like
studio
American-
audience wants to try any,
Mark wants to add something.
okay.
I've heard different scenarios where like American IPA is based off the traditional IPA that is a lot more bitter, but the American IPA is less bitter.
Okay.
Less bitter. Okay.
As you can see, I don't have any glasses here.
Well, you're gonna put out the
And again, no notes because I know nothing about this stuff. So no notes on this one here.
Well, these are what turned me into an IPA fan right here, Ben. A lineup similar to this.
Okay.
I went from Blue Moon to IPAs because of these. So
Okay.
some of these.
Well, I don't know. Is there a glass around here somewhere? Oh,
Yeah, there's glasses there at the
Oh.
table.
they're on the table. There's some
Yeah.
in the kitchen on the island as well. So if we could get, I guess
Look
I'll
at
go
that.
ahead and-
You gonna try it?
yeah, I guess I'll.
Okay.
Definitely. So one of the things that we were discussing, Ben, when Mark and I were sitting outside, is we probably should have brought.
Pass that to Jim, please.
Sure. We probably should have brought something that you can get from like the store or the gas station, or what we consider, if you go to like an Applebee's or something like that, if you order a hazy beer. It's not going to be. It's going to be a brand that you recognize.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. We want to get into too many brand naming here, but it would have been good to have that to start with, because it is so different than these East Coast beers.
Okay. I call
It's like going from your
Yeah.
high school, college days, drinking Lucky Lager,
Yes. Yes. 100%.
stepping up to Heineken.
right. Or if or if you're our age too, Oli,
Yeah.
Hams, whatever.
I never heard of that.
Something like that.
I must be so much younger
So-
than you.
Oh yeah, you are. It's like with tequila, because I do like my
That's
tequila, and
Yeah.
to me,
So this one has like
it seems like when you get something that's just so delicious and so aromatic, it stays on your tongue. I describe it as you know that there's love put into this. And I feel like when we had with going back to our stout tasting that we had,
Yep.
I feel like we could taste that love that the brewery put into their product and that Anchorage Brewing Company put into their product. And so it sounds to me like you're kind of saying the same thing, whereas you got these average, run of the mill, okay, we're going to call it an IPA, we'll call it this, we'll call it that, whatever. They all kind of taste the same, but this is where the love is.
Absolutely, because these brewers are the ones actually, doing it. They don't have a team of brewers if you're working for an InBev or a bigger corporation,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because we've seen, just in the 10 or 15 years that we've all been going to these craft brewers, we've seen them bought out by bigger conglomerates, Modelo and InBev and whoever.
Sapporo.
And then you go to taste their beer, and it's completely different.
It does. They
yeah.
actually change
100%.
the formula and the recipe.
I don't know if they changed the formula or the recipe, something about it. Maybe it's the love. I don't know, but something is completely different about that beer. And to the point where there's very few of them that we will continue drinking after they sold.
This is very fruity.
Yeah.
Very fruity smelling. And it's like you had described, citrusy, mango. I smell all that right here. So I am kind of anxious to
Taste it. The world wants to know, Ben.
Yes. Now, are
You're going to become a convert.
are some of these beers more summertime than fall?
All the time.
Yeah, I think
They're all-time
I think
beers?
you can get away with these all, like
Yeah.
Darren said, all the time, because
Okay.
it's the stouts that normally you want to be a little cooler weather. But
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And you know what? I have decided I'm going to go ahead and try all of these. I'm going to do it.
good.
If
But
you could do Malort, you could do this.
But he's not drinking beer.
But it's not beer.
no, this
These
is
are
beer.
IPAs.
But see,
These are IPAs.
now, this
IPAs,
has
not beer.
this has a beautiful smell. Like I said, I didn't try to sugarcoat it. I try to lie or make up anything. It's a beautiful fragrance. But when I taste it, it tastes like any other beer that I've ever tried.
So
Interesting. That's interesting.
When they brew it, when they boil it,
Should we try the next one?
when they put the hops in ready.
We should. What do we do with the
floral
goat?
You-
Or the
hops
cinnamon?
in it.
The grape one.
You could have. Yes, I'm speaking to the studio audience over here. You could partake, but you're gonna be over there talking, and no one is gonna hear you.
Okay, so this
Wait,
next one,
wait,
vicinity.
Hold
Do you
on,
want
hold on
to
a second. Hold on, really quick. I want to try to keep the conversations to a minimum.
Okay.
We're trying to keep control right now. But James, you are the bearded, the bourbon bearded whatever of knowledge or something along those lines.
Oh, that's right. That's what they
was
called
it you,
you.
Mark, or was it Chris that called it?
Yeah.
What was that again?
The beard of knowledge, like on
And they
the
wanted,
on the pawn shop.
Yeah.
The bourbon beard of knowledge.
Yes.
That was it. Yeah. So you are the bourbon beard of knowledge, Jim. Yes, they are IPAs. but you're over there drinking
This
an
one
Imperial
smells
Stout.
really good.
Like it says on the bottom
This
of the
one's
screen here,
Vicinity.
people, are we drunks or what? You would think that we are.
Depends on who you ask.
So I can sit over there because I got lots
Another-
of questions to ask.
What did I put at the bottom of the screen right there? I can't read it. Oh, no way. Anyways, yeah. I mean, are we drunks or what? Anyhow,
Side by side, look at the difference.
okay, so that was number one. And if we're going to get through this, I'm going to probably have to try to shut my trap a little bit.
Okay, did
So-
you pour Vicinity?
We did.
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh no, Ben did. You didn't.
no, hang on. So this is Vicinity. Go ahead. Mark, Chris, whatever, Darren, whatever.
Okay,
Go
that
ahead.
one is Vicinity.
Yep.
In your
This
glass.
is
No.
Vicinity
No,
from
in Ben's
Chile.
glass.
No.
Not yet. He hasn't
No.
done vicinity yet.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's just
Now what?
the Julius.
So one thing
Okay.
before I read off the vicinity here,
Yeah.
our studio audience, there's somebody in our studio audience, man, that actually knows a little bit more about processing than probably anybody here, because no one here, I think, at this table has brewed anything.
And there's somebody in our studio audience
knows.
we're talking
That has
about
some
the same
experience,
one, who is in the process of brewing his own stuff. Bought his own equipment, and one of these times,
So that could be really helpful.
yeah, there
You can
there
sit
might
right
be a-
here,
there
and
might
then I
be
can
a-
turn the microphone
I
this
don't
way.
know, a Bourbon Beard of Knowledge Brewing Company. I don't know.
Bourbon. That's a good one. That's a good. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
I don't know.
You
We'll
better
see.
trademark that degree.
We'll see.
All
Ben, do you wanna
right.
get some glasses for Ben? Just a couple.
Okay,
Some
so
more glasses.
hold on. Let me finish.
There's a
here.
couple of them.
There's
Outside critic.
oh, there are.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if
Okay.
Jim's gonna taste any too.
I can't go out of this glass again.
No, I know. We
It
need.
needs
Yeah.
to be rinsed out. Okay, where are you going? We're recording a show here. We're recording a show.
Studio audience.
No one knows where. Yes.
All right. Wow. We're only one in.
One in.
All right. So okay. So let's
They were
start
gonna
this
take.
over again. What is up next?
All right.
And I had glasses.
Next one is
The
Vicinity
far-
from
Vicinity.
When you go into the
Trillium
garage,
Brewing
along
Company,
towards the end.
and they are
Straight back,
in
you'll see
Massachusetts as well.
Okay. So this is another East Coast.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Vicinity from.
It is
you said
a-
Julius.
Trillium
Oh,
Brewing Company.
Trillium Brewing.
Trillium Brewing.
Yep. And they are, this is an 8% ABV with 65 IBU.
So it's not as bitter as the last one.
The other one was 72.
Oh, 72.
Oh
Okay.
gosh,
All
this
right,
one's
so-
really good.
Okay. So then.
And this one you can actually get occasionally in a
Yes.
liquor store.
Okay.
Here in
Now,
California.
is this someone's favorite? This one?
I don't know if it's anybody's favorite.
This was my favorite from Trillium.
Yeah. Okay.
This was my favorite.
Because
from
this
that-
one
from
I
that
could
thing.
see like all year long, having
Okay.
this in the fridge. It's smooth. It's yeah.
So okay.
Mm-hmm.
So should I read a little bit about this one for you
Yeah,
guys?
yeah.
Yeah.
Read that one.
Please do.
Is this Taps you're reading it from?
From Untapped.
Oh, Untapped.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's their description of it. This was originally brewed in celebration of the first anniversary of Row 34, which is their favorite Fort Point oyster bar and craft beer purveyor.
Okay.
Okay, so Vicinity highlights a neighborhood collaboration of passion and vision. The beer's appearance is a yellow straw color with significant haze. Heavy citrus aromas of pineapple, orange flesh, and mango dance on your nose and palate.
Okay.
The Pilsner malt provides a medium body and wraps up each sip with a slight balancing bitterness.
Okay.
I definitely
You
picked
have
up a lot
no
of
choice
pineapple.
but to like this one after that description.
No, this one's
Well, just by looking at it, that
got the
description
pineapple on it?
fits.
Yeah.
That description fits. It's,
Yep.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
so this one you could get in some liquor stores.
You can
Yeah.
probably 2 or 3 times a year.
There you go.
Probably the same kind of places
favorite
that get your
liquor store
high end
probably has it.
stout
Yeah.
places.
Oh.
They probably get it.
Shout out to Mr. Cave again.
What was that?
That's a Trillium.
Trillium.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get that here.
Yeah, this
Mhm.
one
Yep.
is it's very light. It's crisp. It's yeah.
Yeah.
I could see just yeah.
Tastes like Julius. It does.
He doesn't have the taste.
It looks
You know
wonderful.
what you need to do, Ben?
What do I?
Don't
okay.
drink it all. Save a little bit and then go back and forth, and that way you can taste the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
just gonna say
on your recommendation, Mark. Okay. All those, God, it just looks so delicious, though. It really does.
It is.
It is.
I guess that's like me trying to, because I did this just at one point last year. I think it was around the 4th of July. Catherine and I were invited to a party, and I took some tequila, and I took some tremendous stuff. And my buddy's wife tried it. She says, "Oh no, I don't like this. I like Patron a lot better." I'm like, it's like, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
but it's for. I think it
Jim,
goes
did you
for
try that
any.
one?
I think it goes for anything
No.
that the best one of anything is the one that you like, and that's it.
The first time that you tried tequila, did you love it?
I did not.
Yeah. So it's and I'll be honest. First time I tried these hazy beers, I did not like them. They were too different for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And,
Well, my
and it
beer
was
would-
acquired taste.
Okay.
My beer usually is just like a very light beer, except stouts. So I mean that's completely different.
And after college,
Yeah.
I was basically in a brown ale phase. I just like very simple brown ale, like Newcastle. Yeah, it was a go-to.
Where's that pine?
Lone Brow Dark.
No, not really. But
Karen, you wanna
yeah, so
try
then
the
someone
third
starts giving me these hazy beers. I kind of like the fact that they actually had a good taste, because in college you know in fraternity parties you basically had really lousy beer that had no flavor because it was cheap.
It was
Right?
quantity, not quality.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's kind of, for the person who, and I'll go back to tequila. For the person who says, "Oh no, I don't like tequila. I got sick. I had a bad experience and all that," and they're usually talking about high school
Yep.
or college,
Yep.
and they're saying, yeah, I was, I had it at this party and I got so sick. No, I won't drink tequila ever again. Well, yes, because you were at a party with probably a lot of people who were underage, and even if they weren't, don't have a lot of money to buy good stuff. So you're gonna buy cheap stuff. And in that environment, people are doing shots. They're not taking the time to taste anything anyway, because they just want to take a shot and they want to get a hand.
Yep.
And imagine it's the same thing at these kind of parties when you're dealing with beer. And we buy the one that gets us the most mileage.
Yeah. The eye-opening experience for me, I actually went to Henry and Harry's Goat Hill Tavern, my first place out of college. Met some buddies there.
Okay.
Still there to this day. Great place. And they let me do my first flight. And I tried like 6 beers, and I just couldn't believe the flavor that they had. I didn't like all of them, but I still appreciated the flavor that they had. And that's one of the main things I appreciate about these beers on the East Coast. For the most part, when you go there, you can pick 1 or 2 like Darren did. You can pick 15 like me and my buddies have narrowed down up there. The flavor that they put in those beers it's just amazing.
Okay.
So are you guys
Get up on mic, studio audience. Get closer.
are you guys gravitating towards
You can see his hand.
less IBUs so that you can get more of the malty flavors and stuff, or what are you guys gravitating? What flavor profiles are you guys looking at? Everybody's different, but I'm just
Right.
curious.
I mean, I'll start. I can speak for me. When it comes to the hazies, I like it in the lower range, that 60 to 70 range, even drop down to 50 and 40 sometimes.
Mhm.
When it
Taste the
comes,
malt.
when it comes to my West Coast beers, I like it the hoppier the better.
Mm.
So, like one of my favorites is West Coast by Green Flash, and they got bought out by an outfit in Atlanta, so it doesn't quite taste the same. But man, it used to have such a bite. It was like it packed a punch when you drank this, because it was like 120 or 115 IBU. It was insane. It was so different than any other West Coast beer.
Okay.
So that's me personally, but everybody has their own profile.
What about you, Mark?
I like the flavor out of it. Like with the lower IBU, I think you do get a lot more of the hop flavor from it, the citrus and
Yep.
stuff. So I do like that part about it, because before I ever had a hazy, IPA, I hated hazies. I mean, hazies. I hated IPAs. Every time I drank one, I felt like I was drinking a beer with someone squeezed grapefruit juice in it.
Like a
It's
shandy.
It was like, this is terrible. And then finally I got turned on to one, a hazy. It was actually from Electric Brewing. And it's like, wow, this is really good. And I've been hooked ever since.
Okay.
We had one last night at the brewery, a hazy. It was pretty
Do you
good.
remember what it was called?
No, and I didn't bring the paper.
What about
Well,
you?
I
Dave?
agree
What did you
with
look
Chris
for?
on the West Coast. I like that super heavy hoppy bite.
Okay.
And then on the hazy scale, which is actually my favorite, that's why I put this one on the end. And we're ending with that one. That's my favorite of the group here tonight. So
Okay.
I like the little bit of a fruity, but I like the mouthfeel on these as well, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
And
Okay.
for me, you didn't ask me. And for me, I like beer.
Yeah.
Any beer,
Cold and on sale, right?
nice and cold. Yeah.
All right, so this is
That's my
another
favorite.
treehouse.
If it's
This
cold-
is We Live Among Ghosts.
Wonderful.
We live among ghosts.
We live among
Treehouse. Okay. So,
You recommended.
no,
Yeah.
This was number
Now,
two.
do you look for foam in them, or do you try to pour it without the foam?
No, you want a good head.
Yeah, you want
So
to
you
get
want
it.
to okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you do want a good.
Say that again, Chris. What do we want?
You want to
What
get
do
that
we
on your
want?
beer, yeah. Goodness.
Oh, is this a family program?
We're trying to keep
It's a
it.
family
trying to keep
program.
It is kind of a family show
Yeah.
with adult beverages, but okay.
And then do you drink them very cold?
You go next.
Or does it-
Chris.
Does it matter?
Not
I
too
actually like it
cold.
warm.
Not too cold. You like
Yes,
a little bit
what
warmer.
we found is one of our buddies likes to drink everything what we call Hatfield Cold.
Hatfield Cold.
That's his last name. And that's like in the freezer 20 minutes. It's like borderline slushy at that point.
Okay.
And
Alright.
it
You don't
takes
get the aroma.
right.
Yeah,
it
you
takes
don't get
all
anything.
of the flavor and aroma out of it. And
Okay.
the very first time we had a heady topper, we're like, we don't get it. It's one of the ones we're going to actually have here.
Okay.
The very first time someone shipped us a can, we're like, gosh, I don't get it. I don't understand the hype because it's like a rated like a 4.8, beer out of 5. Yeah. And we kind of put it, like this. We put it aside and we drank some other stuff. And then I went back to it and it had warmed up significantly. And all of a sudden it was an incredibly different beer. And it was fantastic. It became one of my favorite beers that day.
They work really hard.
You go back
So
as it
I was
warms up a
talking
little
about the
bit.
hop
Oh.
schedule. When you
For me,
when you
give me
boil,
that.
you work really
The
hard
first
as a
one.
brewer. Where you put it's usually 3 doses of hop. Where you put it at and which ones you
And
do,
then the next
because these
I
are
really like
so.
that.
You noticed it, that
Probably gets
floral.
the
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah.
citrus, the floral. That's a hop thing, and where you're putting it at in the boil schedule. Yeah.
Okay. So
Cold
I
is
didn't.
ice cold is no bueno.
I didn't pour
Yeah.
mine. Everybody
It's
got
right
their
here.
pour. Okay. Let me.
Chris, you want to give a background on this one?
Did you get one?
Yeah.
Bourbon beard of knowledge.
No.
Okay.
Call him Mr. Hand, because that's what we can see coming on the screen.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Hand.
Mr. Hand.
Well, I'm going to.
Call me Mr. Hand.
People will be wondering.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
You put it in the,
Yeah,
put it in
that's,
front. We
yeah,
have to get
that is a
Gotta get
He'll
wonderful.
show his
Jim.
face after.
That's a
We gotta get that
wonderful
one for
reference
Jim.
there. And for those of you who know, those of you who are our age, that's a reference to one of the greatest movies ever, and that's Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Yeah.
Spill me a smidgen. Go ahead, read that.
Yeah, so this is We Live Among Ghosts. It's an 8.2% ABV.
Mm.
It's it says 0 IBU. I think that's wrong. I think they just haven't put the IBUs in.
Okay.
It's classified as a double New England, and the write up is. Let's see if I can shrink it down a little bit. It's a little long, but let's see.
Speak up just a little bit, Chris, so
Sure,
we make sure
no problem.
that our home and car listeners can hear.
Gosh, I think I'm going to have to read it all. I'll read it as quick as you can. The soul is a stubborn essence that does not fade quickly. It lingers in the air, the earth, and the comfort of familiar scenes within our lives. Much of the work we do not only honors the past of those around us, but also stakes a claim in either to leave us something behind or for future generations to build upon. There's a feeling of longing for those who are now gone. Our work means to honor their persistent presence and bridge the past to the present. We live among ghosts, pauses to reflect, on what we've lost while honoring what was left behind. It is a treehouse style double IPA brewed with new yeast blend from the best American hops we can source. From the fresh crop, it's juicy, refreshing, and delicious. So they're not giving you any kind of palate or profile here. So this will be interesting to see what we pull from
They're
this.
kind of just giving basically
Well, and I'm gonna-
a history on it.
Yes.
This one particular beer is they kind of strayed away from their normal base of the yeast strain and everything used, so they're using a different base on this one. So this one's a little different for Treehouse than all the other.
And they would not tell us what that was. That was part of the mystique.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're not going to be doing it again, right? I think this was just kind of a one
Like
and done.
a-
I told them you got to do it again. But watch this. So this is after what we've done so far. I'm getting the first little bit of green bite on this one that we didn't have in the last.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Almost like a little bitter.
Yeah,
Maybe you'll
there's
understand.
something,
A little,
yeah.
like it's
Little
like it's
hopper.
almost not quite ready. Green they call it. So which you'll
It would
get
be
on
good-
that green can.
It would be
Okay.
interesting to know what the actual IBUs are on it. I mean, I doubt
Because
it's
this one said 0,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
just means they didn't list it.
right.
Yeah, that's not possible, right?
I mean, it's not fruity at all.
You can't have 0.
Well,
I
I
don't-
don't think on an IPA you can, but they get down to 10 and 15. I've just
Really?
never seen 0 posted that was real. So maybe it can exist. I don't know.
It's not.
It's not fruity though.
I think it has a good scent to it. It's got a good nose, but it is as we've gone down. We're on number 3. It's the one with the least,
Or could it be apple? Or could
or
it be some type of
the
other?
least
Floral or fragrant.
fragrant, the weakest nose, however you want to describe it. Yeah.
It's interesting because each one of these breweries, Trillium, Treehouse, River Roost, all these Burlington, I think their yeast probably dictates a certain flavor
Yeah.
that you
Oh,
get
it
from
does.
every single one of them. So for them to make a change and modify their yeast is a complete departure from everything else that they've done, with all their other beers. That's a huge step. So it is way different. Just the taste of it is more to me like a River Roost, which is another in New Hampshire. It's maybe they use a similar type of yeast, but it totally is different than any other Treehouse.
To me, this
Vermont.
is drier
Vermont.
without being bitter. It's drier. It's drier without
Yeah.
being bitter.
It does stick on your palate.
That's a good way to describe it. Dry. That's a good way.
That's what happens when you eat up all the sugars. It gets dry.
That's a good way to describe it. Is dry, and it does. It's kind of like if your palate is
But it's
wet,
not
and
bitter.
it just
No,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this
Still,
one smells
if
completely
it's not
different.
0, it's really low.
Almost
All the
almost
moisture
gives you
on
a
your
pucker.
tongue. Yeah.
Almost a pucker.
right.
Mhm.
Now the Catherine Maynard show over here has already moved on to beer
Wow.
number 4.
She has. Yeah.
Wait, what are you guys on? I've already went through all of them.
This is one of our favorites.
Chris, you
At
take
least-
this one.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
Chris'
Yeah, this one smells completely different.
Yeah, and look
Let
at
me
the
taste it,
clarity.
yeah.
Look at the
Yeah.
clarity.
Yeah.
Did you pour
This
already?
is one of the
Okay.
original hazies.
Then did you pour yours?
Now this
Not
is
yet,
still
okay.
considered a hazy, Chris?
This
No, no,
they're calling it an American IPA.
American IPA. Okay.
Okay.
American
and,
IPA.
And what is this one?
This is Focal Banger.
So this
Focal
one doesn't have much of a head on it.
So this is
Right.
if you look
Or-
at the
Oh,
how
okay. Depending how you pour it.
the clarity compared
Maybe
to
I
the
didn't
others
see,
is
'cause yours
is
too.
significant.
Clear.
Yeah. And interesting backstory behind this.
I do have to say one thing.
Go ahead.
This is a little bit aged than some of these other ones. So when it's fresher, it is more cloudy. The longer you have these, the clearer they become.
Huh.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Bottle aging. That's why. So what's the
This
why.
one's completely different.
What's the
This is completely
That's an
different.
So it's a 7% ABV, 90 IBU.
ooh?
Oh, so this is
It's up-
supposed
I'm trying
to,
to
be bitter.
taste
More
it.
bitter. Yeah.
No, it tastes good, but I'm trying to figure out it's
But they figure out a way to make it
completely
bitter to
different
not make it
flavor.
as
Okay,
taste as
so
bitter.
notice that for me, I'm not getting that huge floral.
oh no, this isn't
so-
floral at all.
So the hop, they're either decreasing the last stage of hops, or they're putting it earlier in the boil, and that's why you're not getting that floral, or they're changing the hops altogether.
But you'll
Yeah,
get
this is a
you're
lot
gonna get tons
lighter
of flavor
in
though.
the smell.
Yeah.
hmm
A little bit of cat.
Now, do you
tea
look
on
for
this one.
legs in
Little
this
less
or no?
No.
But you know what though? I don't see the 90. I mean,
It's
maybe
dry.
it's there, but
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it is a little bit drier.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It is very bitter, but they figured out a way to not overwhelm you with it.
Yeah, they're Alchemist. They are so unique. I haven't come across any other beer with their flavor profile, like their base, their yeast and flavor profile. You'll see that when you do Heady Topper, later on.
Okay.
Now, where's this one located?
In Maine.
Maine,
No,
No, Vermont.
Vermont.
It's Vermont.
Alchemist.
The Alchemist, that's in Vermont.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
It's right around the
more
corner
like
from
a-
Ben and Jerry's.
it is.
lager or something. I'm not.
Now, out of this setup, Chris, what's going to be your favorite? Is that going to be the Heady Topper, probably?
The last two that you set up are probably gonna be my favorite.
Are they? Okay.
Okay.
But I love
Going
Focal
up the
Banger.
green
Yeah.
one.
What's interesting with Focal Banger and Heady Topper, and you tell me because you guys have experienced this too, because we've been getting them for almost 8 years, 9 years now. Sometimes their batches will vary, and I'm not sure why that is. And sometimes we'll be like, "Oh, the Heady Topper's really good this year," or sometimes we'll say, "Man, the Focal Banger beats the Heady. It's incredible this year." But on average, the Heady Topper is my favorite of the two. But that's just me. Jeffrey, he's a big Focal Banger guy. And I don't know what you guys
Mine's
are.
favorite is Focal Banger over there. One thing is, like, I went to visit my son this in April, and I went to the Alchemist and I bought a case of this beer. So I drank one every day while I was out there. I was out there for 4 weeks.
Love the dedication. Man.
That's commitment.
But every day, the flavor changed just a little bit.
Wow.
So one thing about the big difference between IPA and lagers is you want to drink them as soon as you can. You don't want to hold on to them.
Okay.
Like lagers, there's a lot more work that goes into making those, so they figure out a way to make them last longer, I guess. But IPAs, they have a shelf life.
Yeah.
Lagers do too, but IPAs have a shorter shelf life. I don't think you can. Most IPAs after 6 months, their time is gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially a hazy IPA.
Oh yeah. that's
After
even
2
shorter.
months, they're probably
I was going to say, we wouldn't want any of these sitting around for 2 months.
no.
No way.
Okay.
No way.
Probably wouldn't get it sitting around for 2 months.
Well, yeah, we barely made tonight. That's why I told him. I put in the refrigerator every night. Look at these beers. I'm like,
Oh, you're like,
I wonder if they would miss that one.
that's who I am with the blessed. I'm like,
Okay. Look,
Or you got to bring up
for you at home, for the audience, I'm going to let you in on something.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, we all know the name of this program. However, I don't know what's going on with these ones here because I think it started 3 weeks ago. Darren's texting Catherine, "Hey, can we do an IPA tasting? Can we do an IPA tasting?" And I'm sitting right there with Catherine, and she says, "Oh, that's from Darren. What's he want? He wants to know if we can do an IPA tasting." Why is he texting you then?
well, because I'm the producer, so
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
why. That's why. So
All right. so,
I'm the boss. I'm the producer, so I tell him what shows he's gonna produce
Uh-huh.
or what he's gonna do. So
Okay.
that,
Let
that's,
me
that's
share
why.
my thoughts
Julius.
behind that.
Okay.
So I know you don't like
Julius
IPAs.
is the yellow.
yeah.
I know she does.
One and
So I didn't want to not get the show opening for my buddies and me to get on.
Well, but I was not going to say no. We had
Yes.
look. We had a good time doing
Some are
the
very
stout
good.
tasting.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
a good time.
They're
The
hit or
show's
miss.
got
Some are
good
very
response. Hey, we've got two guys right here that partook in it, viewed the show, were active in it, left comments, and now they're here educating us on IPAs.
See, you too can be on the show. If you like something and want to do a tasting, just let me know.
If you suck it
DM
up.
me. And if you want to do like a martini tasting or any
Oh,
type of
my
tasting,
Just text Catherine.
just DM me and I'll get back to you.
If it involves alcohol.
If it involves alcohol.
So
No, I do dessert
Okay.
too. That would be wonderful.
okay, so Darren texts Catherine, wants to know about an IPA tasting, and I said, "Well, yeah, of course, we'll do it." I said, "I don't think I'm going to partake in the tasting, but sure, we'll do it. Why not? We had a good time the first time. We can have a good time again." And so here we are. And yeah, I've got 4 tasting glasses here. None of them are empty, but just to
We're not done
just
yet.
to please the crowd here, I'll probably finish it all anyway. they want to see me out of here. They really
Well, if you
They
don't,
want-
I will. So.
they want to see me out of here so badly. They want Catherine sitting in this chair. So yeah, that's what it's all about. And you never know. Down the road, we might do another tasting.
The one that
Whether it's another round
Oh,
of Imperial
Brother Brian,
Stouts,
yeah.
maybe we do
Yeah.
something like this again. Maybe
We
we
should
move
do that.
on to. We've done tequila tastings in the past. We've, that type of thing. So stick with us. All right, you never know what's coming up.
I'm giving it the effect.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so
Here's another
Alright.
glass.
Get excited, Chris. Here
All
it
right,
comes.
here it goes.
Here's
That's it. Green from Treehouse.
and I do like the color on that. Look at that.
So green is 7.5%. It's 90 IBU.
is this the highest alcohol content so far?
No, the
No.
8
Oh, which one was
Now this one has
Focal
that
Banger.
bitter bite.
or 7.5.
At the
These
end
guys, these
or at
guys-
the front?
No, when you
Seven,
drink it, you
I think
taste it.
No,
It's
number
almost
2.
like,
We live
it wasn't
among
quite
ghosts.
yet ready. They
Was
like
the
that
8.2.
flavor.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
They like that green, not
That was my
yet
favorite so far.
ready to go.
So when you say green, it's
Is this
because
because of the color?
the wheat.
the
barley?
No,
That's
I don't
not
know.
ready?
What makes it green? I mean,
Bourbon
like the,
beer of knowledge. What makes it green? We're asking our
When the
expert.
hops are they're not quite, I don't know if ripe's the right word,
like a
but
green banana versus
Imagine
the
Yeah.
yellow
taking a
one.
hop,
Oh, yeah,
and
green
but
banana.
it's early on in the stage of
Well,
its
what is a
development.
hop?
Taste?
Nope.
Hops is related to marijuana.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Is that what is that dank?
man,
flavor?
we're learning more every day.
Stay tuned for episode 2.
That's what we mean
Goodness.
by green.
Yeah, love it.
Okay.
All right, Ben. What do you think? Green.
So we're back to the lot of floral. A lot of the
It does have a good
And tasty.
aroma to it,
Mm-hmm.
but I still think that.
Well, this
every
one
of these
tasted a lot
tastes
like
the same.
Julius.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe I might have the most,
Hmm?
but no, I can't. I cannot have the most unsophisticated palate
All right,
because
now try the Julius.
I have these in
Oh,
order.
but
So
you had that. Now try the Julius and see.
oh,
if
that
they-
was number one.
Similar
See-
to
see if
Julius.
they
That's
taste
what I
the
was
same.
saying.
I'm sorry, Mark.
No, they do. Why do they taste the
that
same?
was like 70. No, what was that?
Why do they taste the same?
72 or
Yeah.
something.
72
Mark,
on the,
Mark, why do they
on
taste the
the
same?
bitter scale.
Yeah.
I don't think they taste the same.
But see,
This one
They
and
taste the
Julius?
same.
Yeah.
He doesn't think they taste the
I
same.
know.
what?
He said they do.
Everybody's got their
Oh.
bitter. Their bitter. What do you
I
call
don't
it? It's
know.
different.
I can't
Taste
describe
buds.
it because certainly with the imperial stouts, I mean, I was on point on all that, and they all did have different flavors that I could.
Because they
that I could-
weren't real bitter. So your
They
bitter,
weren't, you're
your
right.
bitter taste
Well,
buds.
because you
so
like
bitter.
sweet.
I do like
See,
sweet.
so
And it's the
that's
same
why this
thing
is
with,
not
with
sweet.
the tequila.
Yeah.
I like sweet.
Yeah.
And
So
floral.
I think that's why it's
Maybe.
why everything's tasting the same to you.
well,
Okay.
and this could be too. One of the things I was talking about with the yeast that Treehouse uses. If we're comparing, you just had them compare
Yeah.
2 Treehouse beers.
That's true.
If you're pulling that same flavor profile from that yeast, you're like, okay, it tastes the same to me. We probably need to get something different for you to, compare it against. Because did you think the same thing when you drank the Focal Banger? Did it taste the
No.
same as the Julius?
Oh,
or-
definitely not. I didn't think so.
You go, Pam.
That's
Talk to
Ben.
the-
Oh, me or
No, that's okay.
Anybody, but
no, it didn't
but yeah,
taste
it's
the
like
same. It did not taste.
I was just
the
curious
same.
what Ben
The
thought
Focal
on that
Banger was
because
completely
they're
different.
definitely different
Yeah,
yeast.
this was the focal banger.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
And
that was
compare that
different.
to what we just had, and tell me if they taste different. There should be a difference of some sort.
This one is
Hopefully.
less bitter, but this one I think was a little dry too. But it is less bitter. Probably the least bitter of the 5 that we've tasted so far. For me.
But that is one of the higher IBUs.
Yeah. Go. I don't know.
90.
I don't know.
But you can't do that, man.
It's interesting.
It's not making any sense.
I like this one, the green.
Yeah.
It's good.
Now save that little bit there at the
I have
end.
to save it.
Yeah,
You want-
let just warm it up a little bit, and then
Okay.
you can try them after them. They're
Yeah.
completely different.
You want to change seats because I'm probably going to end up pissing these guys off, and at least
No,
if
no, you're not.
at least
No,
I'm
No,
at the
you can
end.
reach. You can
No,
reach
you're
grab
fine.
food.
Out of the
You
way.
Grab number 6.
So
Grab number 6.
We're just drinking a can each.
so this is
Grab
interesting,
number
Ben.
6.
Yeah.
How when I first met Darren and I first met Mark,
Oh,
they were not
Stay with this
IPA
one.
guys at all.
Okay.
And it was bringing back
King
little
Julius.
shipments like this
King
that me and a
Julius.
couple buddies would bring back.
Right.
And we'd have these little get-togethers. Not quite as professional as this. This is awesome, but
This is so unprofessional.
we were sitting in a driveway of
Driveway with a
our
fire
friend's
pit.
house
Yeah.
with a fire pit and a bunch of soccer chairs. And I would literally do the same thing. I would read
Yeah.
what the profile was, and they would drink it. And for the first year or two, same thing. They were like, "Yeah, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it." And then like something hit. I don't know what it
But
was.
see, that's what.
This is your first time
Hold on.
ever trying beer.
Hold on. Are you?
Oh, this still isn't a beer. No, don't say beer.
Okay, this is,
Oh.
this is
Okay,
the host
wait.
of his first time trying beer.
Wait.
So that's why his palate is not
Okay.
as sophisticated as ours.
Yeah.
I've
Now,
tried
wait,
many
can I
different
just-
beers,
But this, I
and
tell you
so
what.
so that's why.
To what
I'm
you just
sorry,
said,
audience.
Chris, that's what makes get-togethers like this. Forget the microphones, forget the cameras. That's what makes get-togethers like this
I got a
so
question.
much fun or so enjoyable. Because regardless of what I think, we're all sitting together, we're gathered around, we're
You're
communing,
welcome.
and we're just having a good time.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Just like what you said, sitting in the driveway, we got a fire pit going, tailgates down on the pickup truck, whatever. You know? And we're just kicking it around and we're trying this stuff. And it's great when you have some good information
so good.
to go along with what it is that you're sampling, what you're tasting.
Yep.
It just lends itself to all of the
That's
to
the
the
big
total
difference between
experience.
going to a craft brewery and drinking beer there versus going to a bar. Most people in a bar are going there to get drunk. They don't care.
Or to pick up girls or guys.
So
Girls or guys.
on this one, to me, the finish it was like it's like really lingering. It's staying there.
Which one is this you're talking about?
This is the next to whatever.
Is this
What we
the
just
five?
poured?
The
No,
King
no, not
Julius?
the one that
Oh,
we
it's the
just
last
poured.
one.
Okay, the number
green,
6 is
green.
delicious.
Okay,
Yeah, Catherine's already done here.
Yeah,
but
we're on
Yeah.
six.
So
Number
that's
6 is
what I had
delicious.
to ask. Did any of you
This
guys
is-
notice
This
that
one is.
on the green?
Jim, you
that
have
the
to try this
finish-
one.
the
Sweetie,
finish,
try this
like,
one.
Hung on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you have a?
And is that
The
true?
more
of
she
all
drinks, the louder she
stuff
gets.
you guys
So look,
Yeah,
this
this
is what
one
we're doing
is
right now.
really
Look at that
good.
difference in the flavor.
That is.
Green.
I just I thought
Yeah.
Tell me your.
Oh, you gave
to me,
it-
green is like.
Okay, Jim.
Imagine taking a raw hop
Yeah.
and licking it.
This one's
That's what
really
green
good.
is.
There's almost like a little
It's
burn.
different
if
than
it's-
the other
if
one.
it's-
Hop burn.
If the hop's too like not
Studio
ripe, I
audience,
guess.
I mean,
would
this
you
has
like
got,
one?
It's just the
It's
finish
just
is
overindulged.
it's still
I'm with you because it's a slow roll down your throat for sure.
and it just keeps on
Oh,
going.
King Jim.
I-
King
yeah.
JJ Julie.
King
Okay.
This one's good.
Julie.
I mean, I like the other one. This one's like.
All right, we are about to change
Yeah, this
the
one's good.
game right
Okay,
now.
What is this?
Now, Jim.
Oh,
Jim.
Jim, try this one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, there,
Jim-
there, right there.
Hold on.
Change
This
the
one right
game.
there.
Okay, hang on. Jim,
What?
do you want to try? This can's almost empty here, brother.
I
So-
no, I just
You got some.
I got some.
King,
Yeah.
not the King Julius.
Yeah, you know, you did.
You
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Oh, there's the King Julius.
Look,
Everybody's got
look
one?
at the
Yeah,
Look at
so
the
this
color
is King
of King
Julius,
Julius
from Treehouse
compared to
Brewery.
like the other
Yeah.
ones. It's crazy.
Yeah, pour some.
Pretty
The
bad.
studio audience.
Pretty bad. That's all right.
Get your arm in there. Look at that arm.
The one's in the. Wow, this one's.
There you go.
Huh? What'd you think?
Thank you.
Beer
Okay.
or no? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I
So
love
Peach
it.
apricot.
This one's
mine,
good.
right?
This one.
Yep.
Now the color on this
Completely different.
Yeah.
looks very similar to Julius. However, it is darker. And I guess that's the difference between Julius and King.
Can you see this on the camera?
Yeah.
If I
Can
hold
you
this
see it
up,
on the
Can
camera?
you see it on the camera? Look at the difference.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, much.
Yeah, is that
this
why
looks
they
like
call this
pineapple
Julius?
juice. This
'Cause,
looks closer to orange.
Orange.
Juice.
Yeah.
Orange Julius.
And at first,
Well, that I don't know.
I said that looked like orange juice.
No, I don't think it's Orange
So-
Julius. I think just they
No,
started.
I mean because of the name. Like,
Oh,
is that where they got the name from?
I don't know.
No,
but
it's not.
Orange
Chris,
It
Julius.
has nothing to do with orange
It's
Julius.
the.
Let him read the.
Chris is going to give us some
So
information.
this
I'm
was-
saying the cream, the popsicle.
Yeah.
They actually wanted to get the mango flavor out of Julius. That's what the
Go ahead.
goal was.
So this was part of a 4th anniversary celebration. They made this beer specific for that anniversary. So it says we brewed an extra kettle hop and extra dry hopped version of King Julius. So King Julius, this is an extra dry hop and extra kettle hop of King Julius, which was already probably an extra hop and dry hop on that.
Okay.
The result is an incredibly intense citrus hop blast, unlike anything we've experienced here at Treehouse. Mango, orange, and sweet grapefruit are predominant in the aroma, with hints of pineapple and blended tropical fruit juice.
Oh.
The taste mirrors the aroma with a juicy mouthfeel with proper bitterness, fluffy. This beer challenges the sense and rewards the palate as it warms the glass. Complex, raw, and beautiful, the Amplified King is a beer we are excited to share with you and celebrate 4 years of Treehouse.
That was beautiful, Chris.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Can we buy this? Can I have it in my fridge?
You cannot. Not unless
If you lived in
travel.
Massachusetts, you could.
Yeah.
Can't cross
Yeah.
state
So I
lines
have
with
to.
this.
Wow.
So I used to trade, and I still have traders out there and they want stuff out here, and so we would trade stuff.
And they
but-
would give this up.
They would.
Wow.
It's to them. This is super easy to get. It's like for us going to the grocery store and getting any beer you want. For them, it's the same thing. They can literally go and get a case of that,
This one's really good.
and they pay way less
Oh yeah.
for their cans
Sure.
than we
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which one did you
This
tell
would
me
be
to
like a
save?
$22.
Like-
I'm telling you to save a little bit of all of
$40.
them.
No, but which one?
Oh,
the other
really?
one that I really like.
Yeah,
Vicinity?
if you were trying to get that for
Oh yeah, vicinity you liked.
Okay.
Yeah, this one.
Now, one thing I have to say, just after reading that very long and very good, Treehouse, you can tell they spend a lot of time on their descriptions of their beer. When it was Folkovanger, I didn't read it. It basically said American IPA, 8.5% citrus and and whatever.
Gotcha.
And that was it. One line.
Drink from the can.
Yeah.
And again, we talked about putting love into it. So not only into the product, but in conveying what it is that they do, putting it into words.
And if you go there, it'll make that even more special what you're saying, because they literally have 100 different IPAs that they write this kind of this in-depth beer. And they do stouts and they do all kinds of different beers there. And then Alchemist, which makes Folkman heady, they have maybe 10 beers. They just don't have the eloquent writer on staff.
Well, they're focused on their core beers.
Well, you know what was awesome?
Yeah.
They didn't hire a wordsmith
Right.
to put this stuff together.
Yes.
So one of the reasons we went to Boston was specifically to go to Treehouse.
Okay.
And I wanted to bring these beers back mainly because I like them, but mainly because I want to share with my buddies who always share their great beers with me as well.
Mainly, you wanted to get some FaceTime. What it is.
Well,
You wanted
when
to
I
get
saw
your-
an opportunity to FaceTime, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So anyway, when we went there, they made our experience. We told them we were here from out of state. We came specifically for there. They made the experience awesome there. I mean, they gave me a little birthday grab bag with some fun stuff in there. She let me try all kinds of the different beers. So not only were we having great beers, it was an awesome experience. Definitely different than our breweries out here.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to say this. In our experience, mine and Catherine, in chasing that wonderful flavor we had in Anchorage, I don't know how many breweries we went to, but out of all the ones we went to, there was only one that actually listened to what I was trying to tell them I was looking for, and came back with something that was like, okay, you can stop right now. Here, try this. Goes to the tap, try this. Every other brewery we went to, I tried to describe what it was I was looking for, and they looked at me. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. And I would go to Catherine, and I was like, this guy works here, right? And so, and I'm sorry, you're not going to get a plug on this show, but my boys at the brewery, Mitch, Brent, Charlie, you guys are getting a plug, that's for sure. Those guys, like I said, and the first guy I talked to at the brewery, Brent, Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, we
Stop
can do halftime.
stop what you're doing
We
Yeah.
are?
We had to have to.
and
Oh, okay.
bam.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. I mean, it's the closest thing to what I was looking for. And then I plugged them before. Jacob at First Class Pizza. That guy was just on the money, man. He's just
It's a great place.
yeah.
Oh, have you been there?
Oh yeah, many
Oh,
times.
yeah.
Great place.
He
Yeah.
has a really good lineup on his.
Jacob,
Always.
Jacob's
Yeah.
got
And
a
their
ton
fridge is packed with
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
beers too.
Mhm.
He's got a ton of knowledge. He
And the
he
pizza's so
is
good.
open to sharing it, you know. And yeah, the pizza's really good too. So that
I know everyone's like,
helps.
it's like a pop-up window. Like you just walk up. I said, no, it's
No,
actually
no.
a place inside.
Yeah.
So
The Billy meetup place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. So that those two places there. I mean, that's just. I mean that, but it's that kind of stuff that makes your
The
experience
halftime one.
Oh, we need.
so much better.
So
we need different
one of the places
ones.
we got to get you
We need-
connected
we have
with
them
is
right here.
Windsor.
Oh, we do.
We can talk offline, but yeah,
Okay.
that's a
All
good.
right.
You're going to
All right.
have that same experience.
Okay, we have a
Real quick, we
halftime.
screwed
We
up.
have a halftime.
We missed our halftime brew.
Oh, then we're gonna have to go like 3/4 time. Right?
Oh.
Yeah, we have to go.
A
Yeah,
break
we gotta go
between the
forward.
third and fourth quarter.
All right,
So-
Mark. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Jim.
Question: do you guys consider it a travesty when
Explain that one.
when a brewer heads away from the typical recipe? Say, for instance,
Is that the
I want to
halftime?
do less
The blue one.
less
Okay. Here.
IBU.
All right.
I want to do a
Okay.
different grain, a little bit different grain, so I can pick up some of the malt in it. And I also want to maybe add some adjuncts like something that fruity, like mango, or does that considered a travesty? Like,
This one was so good.
don't do that. Is that
I don't. I think it's more of just the brewer trying to be experimental and see what can I get away with. We're like, and some people say, like, well, that's not traditional. It's like, well, if everyone just tried to stay with traditional, we'd all still be drinking lager beers. So that's
I mean,
Everybody would still be drinking
I'd
Miller,
rather just go.
genuine draft, or something.
Well,
like
let me
that.
share this one.
Yeah.
So the vicinity
Yeah.
from Treehouse. That's a one and done. It's freaking amazing, right? I love that. You love that,
Mhm.
right?
I like one.
They
one
experiment-
or my
They'll experiment with
They
different.
experimented with it, freaking nailed it, but then they're not going to do it again. They're going to go do something else. So that's where travesty. Yes, keep that one, keep that one,
Yeah, he-
and then go play
We'll let him
somewhere
go.
else.
Yeah.
Right? You nailed one, keep it, and then go try some new fun stuff.
Well, they know what they did. They're going to keep that recipe in their book, and in 3, 4, 5 years, they're going to bust it out. It's going to be a special edition.
It'll be called something different, probably.
It either called something different, or it's going to be special edition, limited edition, whatever it is, and you're going to pay a premium for it.
I mean, here's something
You can
interesting
have
that's
to-
relevant to what's going on right now. The Pliny the Younger. I don't know if you guys are in. So Russian River, who makes Pliny the Elder, every February they send out their triple. And it's and in March they do a 2-week stint. So Pliny the Younger,
What's that again?
it's a triple.
No, what's
IPA.
the name?
Russian River makes it. It's called
And you-
Pliny the Younger versus Pliny the Elder.
Pliny.
Oh, that was
Pliny.
the one that we tried.
Pliny.
Yep.
The Pliny.
Pliny the
That's
Younger.
Pliny the
Yeah.
Elder.
And this
There's
is
a Pliny
something
the
that people like myself this morning. I was down in San Diego dropping off
I
at
was
the
drinking
airport.
this morning.
I was at 10:30.
Tell us what you had for breakfast this morning, Chris.
It was 12 o'clock somewhere. Right? Somewhere.
We're good. Yeah. So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but yes, I would. It's very difficult to get this beer because they only post it in Southern California at maybe 50 places. So, and when you go, you got to get in line. And so there was a place 5 minutes from the airport where I dropped my wife. So I'm like, I'm down here. I'm going to go. So I did. Had breakfast first,
Right?
and then so
it doesn't
this-
count if you have eggs first. You're good, right? Not a problem.
so this triple
This was breakfast.
is a highly coveted. Everybody who loves at least their profile of beer wants to get this beer and try it. And the reason is because every single year they change. This is where I'm bringing it full circle. They change the recipe and the profile every single year. Every single year, just slight little tweaks to it, and it's whatever the brewer decides to do. One year, when Jeffrey and I were touring, they did an open air half 50-50 with an open air vat that brought in all of the
Grist.
yeah,
That's the grain. Yeah.
and the but I'm thinking of
The
the
mash. So
it was open to the different elements from the outside air.
So they're picking up the yeast.
Yes.
You're not on
Oxygen?
camera, James, but you do have to speak up.
Okay.
So that was one particular year they did that, and I just happened to know that because I did a tour and they told us that, and that's where they told us that every year they'd make slight tweaks, and so every year people are like, "Oh no, I like last year's better, or I like this year better,"
Okay.
and it's because of that. But no one considers it like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing?" It's almost like, "Okay, what are they going to do this year, and what's it going to be?"
Okay. All right.
All right, we're gonna let
Okay, halftime.
Mark introduce our halftime or our,
No, this
our
is our
third quarter.
this is our break between the third and the fourth quarter, and it really is because we're 6 down, right?
This is not an IPA, and Mark's going to describe this.
We
All right.
skipped halftime. Go
This
ahead.
is not an IPA. I specifically brought this for you, Ben. I know you like sweet,
Yeah.
so I brought you this.
Bubbling
It's a
grape
beer.
juice.
It's a
Yeah.
refrigerated beer.
juice. Oh, I like it.
It's a sour. It's made by Kings. They call what they are is their smoothie sours. So it's like a beer smoothie.
Okay.
This particular one is blueberry and coconut flavors.
That sounds pretty good.
So
So
I'll let you get the
and
first
wait,
pour.
and you've got.
Oh, look at that.
yeah,
He's
since
wearing-
I was bringing it, I figured I
That's
would
it. He brought it. And he's
sponsor him.
sporting the shirt.
Maybe I'll get a free pour out of it.
So, is this because it's a little warmer that it's starting to bubble up like that, or did somebody in the studio audience like give it a good shake first? All right, so I get the pour, huh? This is for the host. Oh my gosh, something special for the host. Wait, do we have any napkins? Do we have any napkins, please? No, the host is sitting right here.
No, this is not a beer you want to drink a 6-pack of.
Okay.
You just want to try it, enjoy the flavor. Say, well,
That is
that was neat.
thick.
Oh, look at the color.
That's
Wow.
thick. That is like a smoothie almost.
It's a sour smoothie.
They should name it then.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
It's sour smoothie. Would the studio
great,
audience
okay.
like to try?
So let me try this before I pass it.
You want to try?
I'm
What do you just
I'm-
take? You
is
just
there
taking
other
I'm
it?
just gonna steal it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just steal it.
Ooh. Perfect.
It's hard to describe the smell on it. So why are you giggling over there? Why are you giggling, Chris?
I am not a sour guy, so I'm very curious what you think of this.
All right, Chris, just chug that can. Shotgun.
I mean, I'm going to try it. But
Okay,
And that's why halftime is fun because we
Here we go,
try
because
different
it's so
things.
different than
Here it comes.
everything
Here it
else.
We've tried
Okay.
meats. We've tried all different things.
This is
Okay,
my
ready? No.
This is my
Yeah.
favorite out of everything.
I know.
that's funny.
There's no bitterness in this at all. There's a tartness to it, and that probably comes from the blueberry.
That's the sour.
It's a
Oh my
It's
gosh!
got
Can
it.
you imagine having this as a smoothie? I'm gonna
It's
go
not
work out
horrible.
now.
Put this with your vanilla protein
I
powder.
look at
and your shake. This is very
How's she
tasty.
ready so fast?
Mix it with your greens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite tasty. Wow.
This is a beer.
Halftime with the win.
Wow.
No, 3/4.
No, what is that 3/4 time? What would this be? This isn't a beer. What
Is
would
this
you
a,
call
like
it?
considered
It's
a
a
beer?
sour,
A
A
sour.
sour.
but it's not.
I've
not
sours.
It's not a traditional sour.
Okay.
A traditional sour. Sorry, Jeffrey. To me, tastes like potpourri
Oh,
and flowers.
that could.
No, I would
With
not
sour.
like that. I would not.
Rainbows.
Okay.
Instant headache.
No, this. Yeah, I could do this.
All right, hit that, man.
I
Let's
don't
give
do
him a
like
straw. It was
Yeah, I
okay.
like that.
I do.
I mean, it's
I
not like
that.
drinking beer. It's
So
like
this is
drinking.
where I was talking about
It's
going.
Kool-Aid.
I can make a
Being
mixed drink on
experimental.
it.
Yes. Now,
Huh.
okay.
Add a
What's
little
the
vodka in it.
ingredients?
Yeah.
would be good.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I was speaking away from the mic. This is a 7% ABV.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's good.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you
It's
guys
good.
drink
It's good. I
other
like it.
stuff besides
Give 'em the whole-
IPAs?
Yes. And obviously some of these guys drink sour. I'm not a big sour guy, but I will drink almost
drink the
anything
whole
else.
board, yeah.
So are
I
sours
made a
all this
Boston
color?
lager today.
No.
What's that?
No. Okay, sours. They're different colors.
Well, yeah,
But
that's
some of them are really.
They make some that have a
For me.
flavor of cheesecake and white chocolate. I mean, they go all over the place with the flavors.
Okay.
And
Or
they're in Rancho Cucamonga if you ever want to go check them out.
well, he's,
Oh,
and he's talking
King-
specifically about
King's
Kings.
Brewing Company.
Yeah.
They're in.
Oh,
Rancho.
Rancho
Yeah,
Cucamonga,
I think
Kings.
Mark
What?
might be getting paid
King's
to be here.
Brewing?
Today. I don't know.
King's Brewing.
All right, the majority of sours I've had, okay, that are not from Kings, because I've tried them because Jeffrey, my buddy who loves them, are, in my opinion, they're very bad. They
It tastes like potpourri.
they don't agree with my palate.
Yeah.
That's probably a nice, safe way to say it. They're
Potpourri. Oh
this
my God.
is not like I'll borrow your line. It's not awful, and that would be my tagline for this. It's not awful. It's not great,
Which,
but it's not awful.
means it's actually fantastic.
Yes, which means
For
it
Chris
is.
and I to say this is not great or not horrible, it's fantastic. Take that as a win.
Well, Ben loves it.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want another hit of this?
I think, or do you want to drink it most?
I'm drinking right out of the can.
No, don't. Just pour it. Gianna wants some still.
No, that's okay.
She just said no.
That was quick.
You did
Okay.
not say no. You said, I'll take a little bit after you're done pouring.
It's okay. No, go ahead.
But
Here,
anyway.
your
No,
glass.
no.
Anyways.
Now that you drink from it.
I kept the pretzel in my mouth. I didn't like. There's no.
Now
floaties
she's
in it.
good. Okay, let's pour the 7th one.
All right, Catherine is done with the halftime show. Let's get back to business.
This is good.
7th one.
7th one. What are we doing?
7th.
Oh, Chris, call it.
I
Oh
want you
yeah,
to
Eddie
try
Topper.
They make great stuff.
Everything blueberry. Winner, chicken dinner.
And the winner of the IPA tasting is Howard. Thanks all for watching.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so what do we?
I'm just trying to keep up with the Catherine Maynard show over here. You guys keep doing what you're doing over here.
Okay, so this one is Hetty.
Eddie Topper.
All right.
Hetty Topper.
Oh,
8% double. What are they calling double American? I wonder. 100 IBU, highest IBU we've had.
oh,
100.
okay.
You're gonna love this one after that tower.
Probably gonna just
Not at all love it.
knock the
You are-
socks off of that one, right?
Don't have too much because Chris really loves
Yeah, don't
this.
even drink it.
Don't even look at it, man.
Yeah.
They've been
Just
brewing
pass
this
the-
Hetty
just
Topper
pass the
since
can.
2003.
Just wave it past the
There you
glass.
go.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Say
crazy.
that again, Chris.
Yeah. Say
They have been brewing Hetty Topper since 2003.
Wow.
that. Okay.
The double IPA is not intended to be the strongest
Whoa.
or most bitter. It is brewed to give you a wave after wave of hop flavor without any astringent bitterness.
Is this it?
We brew Hetty Topper with a proprietary blend of 6 hops, each imparting its own unique flavors and aroma. Take a big sip of Hetty and see what hop flavors you can pick out.
This one's
Orange,
a bit.
tropical fruit, pink grapefruit, pine, or spice. There's enough malt to give this beer some backbone, but not enough to take the
Ooh.
hops away from the center stage.
Jim, you're gonna like this one.
Yes.
That's what I just heard him say. I'm going to be able
There's
to
a
pick
bunch
up
of malt in it.
Bunch of weed in this. This is brewed from weed.
Yeah, there's so much going on in this
No,
beer.
true story. This is the beer that, and I'm not a weed guy for the camera,
Yeah.
but this beer
Oh, man.
was the first time I asked if hops and marijuana was related. Because you taste it in here and it's like, do I smoke this or do I drink it? Right? Or both.
Do you put this in your bong or what? Right. This could be
Next
like
podcast.
bong water.
Penny Topper Bongs.
No.
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 Not that.
So, little quick backstory on Hetty Topper.
This does have an interesting aroma to it.
Yeah,
Dang.
for sure.
Way better.
It's just
A little bit warmer.
Yes.
Way better.
100%.
Wow.
Yep.
I normally don't like this. I let you guys take this one.
Yeah.
That's actually good when it's warmed up.
There's like a million different
I always
flavors
have
from
that
it.
butt cold, like you had Jeffrey had.
Yeah.
that
Hey,
cold.
Darren, from
there's
tonight's tasting and the one we did a few weeks
less
ago,
of the
aren't they much
floral
better
and more
tonight
of
than when
the
we had them at
fruit.
your house because
That's what I'm
they've
getting
warmed
at
up
this.
more?
Yeah.
On your nose or in your mouth?
so they're
Okay.
opening up a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so a lot of these you're going to pick up, like for me,
We
I
pulled
picked
them
up
from
the
ice.
floralish.
They went out of
Yep.
the bucket.
100%.
Yeah.
Except for 1 and 2.
The way I like my tequila.
This
yeah.
is less floral
Whoa.
and more
That is
fruity.
I'm
bitter.
curious to see after you taste it.
That's at
It
100%
is.
Yeah.
IBU.
Right.
So this has got the nose almost of number one and
Ooh.
2 because I'm getting pineapple. I got the mango.
Are you getting mango in here, Jim?
Yep.
No, I don't get.
I don't
mango at
smell
all.
that, but it does have an interesting aroma. But yeah, this by far is the most hoppy of the first 7 that we've tried.
Now, whose favorite is this? That's yours. Okay.
Yep.
It's a good
I
one.
learned about this.
You like
It's
it
a good one,
strong
yeah.
like your women.
I
right?
do, yeah.
This is like, this is a strong beer.
You know what's funny though? I would drink this at this temperature.
All the
I
time.
don't like it cold.
No,
I don't.
You don't.
I hate
Only
this.
Jeffrey drinks it this cold.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you guys have poured it the last few times, remember that I've hated it.
You
I'm
have to
no,
sit-
I don't
yeah.
want to. You guys, I'll pass on
Yeah.
this one, but screw you guys for serving me this thing cold. Man. So good.
Yeah.
I missed the
That's so we can have more later.
I'm gonna bring
we
my
let-
own hot.
we-
Yeah, right. Everywhere. Yeah.
We-
Oh,
we
you
let-
put it up? Okay. Well,
We let it warm up, and you're like, "Oh, I hated that one," and we're like, "Oh, take it."
yeah. Well,
Jeffrey, I think you're out.
Hatfield cold is out. Hatfield cold is out.
Do you guys get the floral on this or fruit or both?
When
I
I
get more
drink
fruit.
it, I get floral. When I smell it, I get fruit.
And the more he drinks,
Yeah, I
the
agree.
greater the buzz.
But he's been drinking since 10:30 this morning.
Yeah. Right.
There's that.
And then it's
It's a
7:30
month
right
their
now.
advantage.
It was one beer,
Oh, okay.
and I had breakfast.
That doesn't count.
Do you want to grab your favorite now?
So you can pick up a little bit more of a mouthfeel on this, a little bit. That's because of the malt, but it's so hoppy that it, for me, it almost like takes away
Takes away.
from the malt. But that's just me because I like that. If you're a hoppy guy, you will like this for sure.
And this was brewed on 11/26. So as good as you think it tastes now, it tastes
wow.
so much
Oh,
better
yeah.
when it's
when
fresh.
it's fresh, it's
Oh, so
crazy.
it tastes different when it's fresh.
Oh, it
Yeah,
tastes
you don't
okay.
want IPAs. You, want to
them
have
fresh.
soon to their date.
But-
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
especially
these Alchemist beers. Yeah, I mean you do, but literally, I have 2 cans left too. I have 1 and 1.
These
also.
were my last 2 cans.
Yeah, and
Now, do you
And-
ever, when you go to the breweries, do you go in the tasting rooms and you can actually
yes,
taste it?
Yep.
They pour it for you,
they do. They give you a little 4-ounce pours.
and it tastes so much better.
Yeah, and then now at Alchemist, you probably know that now that you can actually get pours there, that's different than when I went last time.
Well,
Um,
the only thing they were pouring was the heady topper when I went.
Okay, because it used to be you just get these little
Everything
4-ounce
is in the
pours,
cans, yeah.
and then you just get cans, and then you go home.
Oh.
And then they switched it. They had started having
Wow.
these Thursday in the park sessions where they were actually selling $5 cans of this in their park because it's on a big park setting where their brewery's located.
Okay.
And they would have a band there, and they'd have a food vendor, and so we would always plan our trip around that Thursday park visit.
So it's freshly poured for
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yep. And everything that you're buying is within a week, days usually,
Okay.
that you're taking home.
Okay.
And first thing we do when we go to East Coast, we buy 2 red Igloo coolers from Walmart, $18, and they'll fit about
Yeah.
60 cans. And that's what we bring
That's
back,
the
120
yeah.
cans.
That's the,
But that's how we do these shares that these
Yeah.
guys were part of.
right.
Because
Okay.
we would do more than 8. We'd kill 30 beers between
Now, what is
That's
when you're at the brewery? What does a can of this
oh, you
cost?
could reach
$5.
You can buy a 4-pack for $12.
haze.
Oh,
Really?
There, $12. Yeah.
$12
Really?
for a 4-pack.
Yeah.
So like
Holy Toledo.
that's
The
the
4-pack of this here can be up to $40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
I didn't know there
when
were
we
12.
buy like the bourbon,
I was like, when they told me what it was, like, give me,
What's
give me, I got 6 4-packs.
Yeah.
the bourbon when you start going into a barrel to bourbon age stuff or barrel age stuff, the
This one
price
has a lot
goes
of
through the
head on
freaking
it.
roof.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man. And no wonder you buy 60
Ooh, this one
cans.
smells
Yes.
really good.
And they're all like that. They're all super cheap. There's nothing above $5 out there.
Holy cow.
Here's one. Mark wanted to make a point of this too. If you look at their cans, they're the only brewery that does this. It tells you to drink from the can. They want you to drink from the can.
Oh, really?
And they actually have, you can go on their
Oh, yeah, it
site.
does say it right there around the top. Yeah.
If you go on their site, they would
Yeah,
have a
the other one
whole
says
like
that too, yeah.
instruction on why they want you to do it. But The main reason is because people were letting this go for 2 or 3 months and drinking it, and then there would be particulates floating in it, and they were like disgusted by it. They're like, ooh. Honestly, that stuff is when you get that.
That's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff. Yeah, you want the last pour, but when you're drinking from the can, you don't see all that.
Right. Okay. I get it. Because sometimes people you eat with your eyes. You know, in this case, you would drink with your eyes. Okay,
Yep.
I see it. Yeah. Okay. So
It might happen in this can.
So what are we closing this out with?
Closing it out
Haze.
Darren's
with the
favorite.
game changer.
And
Are
it's
we
a,
really closing it out?
I don't know. Ask Catherine.
I have some other ones.
There's an after party.
Well,
going on.
we could change it.
There is one we should include in the triple dry hop other Brian I brought with me.
We should.
Yeah.
We could add
Call it
stout.
out.
We could add
Hold
stout
the
to
phone.
this. We could add
Okay, time out for just
what?
1 second.
we could add like
Wait.
cupcakes to this.
Mark, what are you doing? Mark's on his phone. Are you
I'm trying
kidding me?
to find something for you.
I
He's
think you're
looking
sending
for-
a text message to like your girlfriend or something.
No, I only have a wife.
Or he's checking his Facebook or whatever. I don't know. Seriously?
I'm trying to find a picture to show you.
Okay, this is the
All
winner.
right, I'll stop.
This is the winner.
I was trying to show you the alchemist doing the pour.
For me, I'm either number 1 or number 2.
No, this is this one and Julius.
So
King
this
Julius.
is Darren's
Julius.
favorite.
So she's
Yeah.
got a similar palate to me because I was going to say
Yeah.
King Julius
Really?
and Hayes.
Yes.
Yeah. King Julius and Hayes are my two.
Yeah,
these
this
are
is these two
fantastic.
are
This
my
is
favorite.
an 8.2 ABV.
Uh-huh.
Is this the highest? So
It's the same. There was one other one. that
Oh,
was
that's
8.2.
right. I think you said
It
which one
was.
was Vicinity, I think. Was it-
No.
No, it
That's
wasn't.
weird that I like the same two.
I can tell you. It was We Live Among Ghosts.
That was 8.2.
That was 8.2 also.
All right.
So it's
I think
tied
I
with the
did like
highest.
That one too.
Okay.
Try it again.
It is a 90 IBU.
Okay.
Okay. It has a much shorter narrative, so I'll read. It says, we smell a ton of peach on the nose with complementary notes of orange
No, I
and
like this
passion
one the
fruit.
best.
The flavor is similar to a blast of citrus fruit and peach, quickly followed by a bounty of tropical fruit. A lingering and pleasant saturated hop oil finish awaits. This is a real juice bomb of beer.
Okay.
That's their description.
So
This was good.
I'm just noticing, and probably because I haven't
Studio
been
audience, do you want to try one?
studio audience.
Studio
Okay.
audience.
Oh,
Exactly. I just noticed it, and probably because I wasn't wearing my glasses. We've got 8 IPAs from 3 breweries, right? Treehouse, The Alchemist.
There's 3
and
breweries
Trillium.
on here. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
3 breweries.
Yeah, 3
The
breweries.
Alchemist, yeah, Treehouse,
4 if we count
And-
my favorite.
and Trillion. Oh, what's that one?
Yeah, Trillium, Alchemist, and
This
Yeah.
is King's
so
Brewery.
when you guys tasted the,
Okay, so
the
let's
dark, the black IPAs,
now.
what was the? big
This is my
difference?
favorite.
I'll say this:
What did you pick up in the flavor?
these all have
Well,
a
I've had
very
3 or 4
similar
of them
aroma
that were
to them,
really bitter,
which
I
delightful.
didn't mind at all. But there
It's
was a
when
lot
I
of,
get to the taste,
chocolatey
when I
notes
get
in
to
there,
that
too.
that
Okay.
hoppiness,
You're gonna get that. You're gonna
that
get that.
that's where I lose it, or it loses me.
Okay, so
However you want to look at that. So
the
now I
bitter,
haven't tried this one yet.
the
So
bitter they
let's
did
see
on
how your
purpose.
favorite.
So here's the thing. For the
Yeah.
record,
Is
it's
when
not
you
the beer.
start adding these
It's you.
grains.
So enjoy.
You can take this grain,
We set the
No.
record
yeah,
straight.
yeah.
So let's get one thing for everybody.
Okay.
that's what they
I
do.
guess it is
Different
me,
levels of
huh?
toast.
Because it seems
And
that
it
everyone
imparts different
else.
flavors
Yeah,
and
see,
also
this one I
color.
want in the fridge all the time.
So
Best one.
Yeah,
if
this
you're
is the best one.
get chocolate,
This and the
they're
King
gonna
Julius
be-
one.
There's
Treehouse,
there's 2 different
Hayes
grains that
for the win.
Yep.
add black pearl
My
is
bad.
one of them, and then
I was going to say purple haze
there's a
instead of purple
chocolate
can.
something, I forget
You
the
can
name
say
of it,
whatever you want.
Purple
that
haze.
they
What'd you
generally
think
gonna
of?
put in like Imperial Stouts.
What did I
So-
think?
Did you taste
They
it?
might have
You can
added
lie to
that.
me on
Now,
this
when
one.
you do that,
You can lie to me on this one.
the
That's your favorite.
Lie to
Okay, so
me.
Treehouse is
goes up.
Let me taste
their
it.
core beers are
And-
Julius, Green, and Hayes. That's their
What
3
they
core
might do to
beers.
offset
And
is
Hayes
to
is
add
obviously the
more
one with the
hops.
highest
that to
alcohol.
Did you like
counteract
it?
that sugar.
Okay.
That's the one you
Yeah,
like
and
the most.
also what happens to the sugars when it
Okay.
ferments.
That one also.
It,
I like Hayes.
I,
Out of
I
those
like
3, the best
this
two.
one and this one.
Yeah.
But I do like
The
King Julius
King
better.
Julius
Well,
one.
do you like it better?
So
Yeah.
the
I like that. I
Yeah.
really like the ghost
Get
one.
eat
And I'm
up.
not
They
an
could
IPA
Yeah,
person,
that was a good. Yeah,
but
I had a
Because
few
I've
of that
never
one. That one
tried
didn't
it.
last.
Okay, let's.
But I almost didn't show up. So
Yeah, try.
I was in my fridge the other day. I'm like,
I'm like, "Two
That's
oh,
what
I
they do.
can't do it.
Seriously?
This
This is what happens here. We get multiple conversations going on at one time, and then I start to lose control of the program. I don't understand.
well, someone from the off audience, from
We've got
after
someone from the
studio
studio
audience is
He's over
talking.
here just yapping away. And these guys here are
Chris,
talking behind
so what do you
me,
think, Chris?
and Catherine here
On
her
this one
jaw
here?
is
Yeah, but did
numb
you like that
because
one?
She's got a buzz going. Okay, hold on. Let's bring it
Let's
in.
all do a shot. Shot. Shot.
That's another program.
Okay. So let's bring it in for a second. Is there, out of the 8 that we've tried, are there any of them that no one had? And I'm primarily speaking to Darren and Mark and Chris. Are there any of these 8 that you hadn't tried before tonight?
No.
Oh, okay.
We came prepared. We studied.
Okay. Now, we know which one Darren likes the most, and that's Hayes. That's his favorite. What about you, Chris?
My absolute favorite is a topper, and I have to go back to
That's
your
number
question.
7.
You asked if there's any of those we haven't tried before. Yeah, that blueberry pancake. I've never tried that before. So
Okay. Will you drink it again?
no.
Only because we want you and Mark to enjoy it.
Yeah, we want you to have more.
That just means more for me.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Chris's heady topper. We know Darren his favorite is Hayes. What about you, Mark?
Mine's the King Julius
King Julius
and the Ghost Among Us.
They're kind of
Yeah.
so number 3 and number 6. We Live Among Ghosts and King Julius.
Yep.
Okay. And Catherine, what about you? Which one was your favorite?
My favorite was the last one, the purple one.
Hayes.
Hayes.
Okay, so you and Darren are
And I was very
That's a good
similar
one.
to the King Julius.
so
both.
So King Julius.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then also the focal
Banger. or
yeah,
Heavy
focal
Topper?
banger.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
And
I know-
oh, and I'm sorry. In order.
First 8 were my favorite.
I know. And then the vicinity,
That is
the
awesome.
Trillium Brewery, this one I would want in my fridge all the time.
Okay.
And I heard you could get that from the liquor store.
So, just so you know, I'm not stuttering. It is actually called King Julius. Okay, it really
Yeah,
is.
it's all the I's and the S's.
So you don't think I have a speech impediment or something?
Well, that's what I told Catherine when I sent her the list. I'm like, King Julius. I'm like, yes, with all the J's and S's.
Yeah.
And I got them all in there.
Okay,
you did.
okay.
You nailed it.
What about you, brother?
Okay, I like the. I think it was.
Speak
number
up.
Studio audience.
Give that guy a microphone.
Oh, you can see him.
People
He's
want to
coming in.
hear the bourbon
So,
bearded.
for me, for me,
Our expert over
I wanted,
here.
I wanted to taste more of the malt and the less of the IBU,
Yeah.
and I think it was number 2. And then the I got more fruit versus floral on the either 1 or 2. I forget. There was mango and pineapple, but either 1 or 2 was my favorite.
Okay.
And I would, if I was to make an IPA, I would molest the hell out of the recipe. You guys,
Cover your ears.
We should make one.
Cover your ears.
Can we rewind this about 10 seconds, please?
No one is speaking
Yeah.
outside.
No
Okay,
actual
yeah.
molestation is taking place on this show.
Will take.
Or will take place.
Other premises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a disclaimer on
No
it.
one is going to molest you.
that's that. I would vary a little bit.
Okay.
That's just me.
Much safer word.
That is what
Very
he means,
cool.
buried.
Yeah, there he is a lot. Okay. Wow. Well, look. I told you all. That's
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I don't know how it
This is
happened.
the IPA.
I don't know how it happened, but Mark, you knocked it out of the park.
Oh yeah.
So I have a question. So when Catherine and I went to the brewery last night, I don't know if you'd ever had an IPA before, right?
Well, I mean, yeah. Of course I drink, so.
Okay. But
But I've never really like thought about it.
yeah. So what?
I never thought about it. It was cold.
I mean,
and
I don't
it was
know.
wet and it had alcohol.
I've been to a beer and I mean
So
a
I
bar,
drank it.
and
We
they've like
had a
poured
haze-
me
we had
things.
a
And I
haze
didn't know if
last
it was an
night.
IPA.
We had a haze last night. You weren't negative towards it or anything. You know, we were looking at some.
We
other
were looking
things.
for some IPAs. Yeah.
Yeah. So what changed your persuasion?
I would say they're not as hazy as the one we had yesterday,
The
or
first two
it
were?
was very hazy. The one that we had,
Okay.
because the other ones we had were Belgian ales.
Well, those were IPAs, right?
Yeah, so they were different.
Right,
But
they
the
were-
one IPA we had, it was
Right.
different.
That was a haze.
Yeah, it was
haze.
very hazy,
right.
and yeah,
Well, what do you mean it was very hazy?
it was like cloudy.
Cloudy.
That's it's
Cloudy.
It
a
was
haze.
much more cloudy than these.
Yeah, a little bit, and it was. No, I don't know. It was more.
I haven't had
It was
that one.
more fruity. It was more.
And they aren't known for their East
IPAs.
Coast or
Yeah.
hazy
Right.
It
or
it
IPAs in
wasn't-
general. Yeah, you're right.
That's
known
not
for
their
their-
wheelhouse.
No, it
they're
isn't.
known
Yeah.
for their stouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like anything like these.
I mean, I liked
Yeah,
it.
like these
I
are
liked
more
it.
smooth. They're more.
That's what I was
Yeah.
talking about. There's, I'll call it gas station IPAs, stuff you can get at a local gas station.
Yeah.
Okay. Without mentioning any brands.
Mhm.
Okay. And there are quality craft. The brewer put his love and heart into them.
And that's when
And
you can
that's-
taste the difference.
These are an example. Now, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of small craft breweries, microbrews, nano breweries that put their heart and soul into their beers like this. And you just need to find them. The problem is that we're inundated with these gas station beers, and we're told this is a hazy. And so people drink it, and and it's awful.
And I think sometimes too, Chris, that some people just want to get in on the microbrewery thing. Now I'm going to be a craft brewer, so I've got a bunch of money. I'm going to open up my own thing,
Yep.
and I'm just going to put it out there. And it's just a business. It's a way for them to try to get in on it and make
100%.
money off of it.
I know
Well,
I've been
yeah.
to tons of craft brewers. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't have the heart and soul and passion that these guys and others
Right.
like them are doing. I know there's two breweries that one I go to all the time, and literally right across the parking lot's another one. And I'm very, very good friends with this guy, but he's not the passionate guy. He is.
Right.
It's if whatever the thing is that we need to make, whether it's micheladas or hazies, he's making it. People are coming and drinking it. They're awful.
Well,
Right.
that's like one brewery that we know, LB. I don't want to say the place, but
you mean
but-
BL.
We don't want to lose sponsors.
that place is like you go there and they have the micheladas and all that, and you ask, okay, they have pale, one pale to choose
Oh,
from.
Well, you know what?
One,
Here's-
you know which place
Yes,
I'm
I know
talking
who-
about.
I know
I'll
what
say.
you're talking
Let me
about,
say
yeah.
this because I've come. I mean, the beers I like today are not where I started, right?
Right.
So I'll try and keep this quick. So I go to a man camp with these guys, heterosexual man camp, where these guys are bringing in.
I
all
wasn't
the-
there.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. My wife's right here. She knows it. Anyway, Chris, I was just getting to know Chris,
She only
and
knows
he tells
what-
me.
knows it.
Really?
He tells me
Who's getting to know
everybody's
it?
bringing a beer that has some sort of significance.
This is
to
a
them.
true story. Yes.
Right?
Before.
So at that time, Blue Moon with a wedge of orange. I think I freaking showed
I
up
have
with an
to have
orange.
that. Yeah.
Anyway, that was my jam, Blue Moon. So I showed up with a case of Blue Moon,
And they
I was so
actually
excited.
asked you back?
And they're like,
Continue.
No,
Yeah.
I had to have a
You had to
vote
leave.
to do that. But so I show up and I bring in my beer, and Chris,
and your
is, like,
oranges.
Chris is like, "Oh, hey, good to see you, bro. Oh, you can put that in the refrigerator that was in the garage." He's like, "Because nobody's gonna drink that shit." And I'm like, I thought Blue Moon was like the beer. Everybody would be happy to see it. And so I spent the whole weekend with these guys drinking these great beers. And then, yeah, I kind of,
You finally you got it.
And you were the butt
Yeah.
of everyone's joke that weekend, and you almost got voted off the island, right?
well, me and Scott Reedy had to
Right.
sleep in the garage because of
Drinking
me
your-
showing up with Blue Moon. I had to earn my way back into the main
Did
house.
you guys sleep on the same cot?
There was a little bit of spooning involved, but that's
It was cold. It was
It
cold.
was cold in the garage. That's a different show.
All right. So listen, I hope that you got a little bit of education on this, and that you enjoyed what you saw. You enjoyed the information that was out there that Chris, and Mark, and Darren provided, because these guys. Oh, and the bourbon beard of knowledge.
That's
as well.
right.
And the studio audience, thank you.
He's off camera today. Yeah. Thanks to the in-studio audience tonight. You guys are great. You guys are very helpful. Extra hands bringing us glasses and all this good stuff. So again, I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed it. And we're gonna do this from time to time. We'll try some different things just to mix it up a little bit and have some fun away from the normal fun that we have on this show, which is always fun with the capital F. So right now we're going to call it a wrap. As always, this show or this program is available on multiple podcast outlets like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. Or just search the Ben Maynard program and choose your option. Steer your way towards Buzzsprout, please. If you're watching on YouTube and you can't resist all the beauty that you see here, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, there you go. Subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment. All right? We love comments here. Last but not least, follow me on Instagram, Ben Maynard Program. With that, we are out. This is the Ben Maynard Program. Tell a friend. Woo!